It takes a village to raise a child. Yes, it does. And I think in a village, you have people who subscribe to the same beliefs and ideals. So you didn't have to worry about what your kids were learning. You know that they were around people that had similar ideas to you. That's why you can let that village raise your child. Going back to the Roots, the Roots show with Kunta Kinte, there was a part where um, first let me go two separate scenes that have the same connection of what I'm talking about. When Kunta Kinte was born, the father went to this guy who was like the wise man in the town. He was like, forgive me, I just have something to ask you very importantly. I don't know what to name my son. So, he went outside his home, not even a family member, just a guy or elder, and he was like, I need help naming my kid. There you go. The second example that I want to bring up is in the film Roots, in Africa, in the film, it was said that when a boy reached a certain age, he had to go to like man camp, is what I'm gonna call it. But it's just where a bunch of teenage boys go off, and the elders of the town or these men, they teach them things. It's just like how white folks do. And let me just go ahead on record and say that we did it way before them, and they steal everything from us, whether you believe that or not. That's fine. But it's kind of like how white folks do when, like you go on a weekend trip with your dad and you talk to him and you get some things out and you come back a little enlightened and you got some stuff off your chest. That's kind of how it was in Roots. Except for it wasn't their father, it was men of the village that went to teach them things and test them and, teach them how to fight, how to hunt, and just teach them things that they needed to know as a man. Very subtle though. So there was one part where Kunta Kinte was at his men training, and one of the men there had like literally a 2-minute conversation with him about courage. And Kunta Kinte said, "Thank you for teaching me these things." He said, "You're welcome. You may go." Kunta said, "Thank you." The man said, "You've already thanked me. You can go." Straight, stern, to the point. There you go. Bing, bang, boom. Um, so when you have a village like that, I, you know, all this getting into your children's feelings and seeing what they want and listening to them, I don't get that from Africa, you know. And it damn sure ain't working for white folks because they shooting up schools and stuff. Not to reference anything terrible, but I'm just stating what happens in the world. I just don't think that that's all that important. Um, what do you think? Do you? Oh, I'm sorry. Back to my point. I go to talking and I lose my thought. But the point to run back to what I was trying to make is, you know, being a person, a brown person, from Africa. Um, I just don't think that all that extra stuff is necessary, but I think that it is important to spend time with your children um, in America because America is Americanized, and if you have certain morals, values, and lessons you want to instill into your children, you have to be very careful of the company that you keep around them. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is if I was in Africa, I don't even think I would be having this conversation about spending time with your kids. You need to spend time with your kids. No, let them go off and do what they do. The village will take care of them, and so will you. I'm not saying, they gonna have what they need. They're around people that's gonna give them what they need. But when you have them around people that have them talking about, Mom, I hate you, and you're such a bitch, and why don't you go skating with me? You gotta control that. You gotta spend time with your kids. That's how I feel about it. So do you agree? Do you understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense, or are you totally against it? Um, I'm curious to know how you feel, especially as a black parent with small children. I have small children, 10 and 5. Um, I don't feel that quality time necessarily means what the children want to do. That's basically my point. I don't think that at all. And a few people have told me, that that's wrong. I disagree. So I love my kids, and I think I'm giving them a very strong, good upbringing. And they're kids, for God's sakes. They don't know what's best for them, and they won't understand it right now. Like, I didn't understand certain things when I was a kid, but when I became an adult, all I hear are my mother and my grandmother's voices, and it makes so much sense. So please comment, respond, and leave your opinion. I'd appreciate it. Hey, if you fancy this video, then don't be afraid to check out my other video titled Bedroom Conversations by a Conscious Couple, where my husband and I just pretty much allow you into our bedroom to listen in on a late night conversation that we're having about various things. So click on the video, check it out, and let us know what you think about it. All right, peace.